And for those of you that aren't, just chill. See, we're going to get down to the other stuff here in a second. But what I'm always trying to get everybody to understand is everything is vibration. So, I guess there really ain't nothing left to do but vibe.
Perfect.
Everything is vibration. Just vibe. Ebony, what's up, baby? Just let that vibe seep in. Shout outs to Beats by Bless Zone Now Music. He made it. Let's zone out. It's hump day. I'm trying to keep it jumping. Yeah. The vibe is the most important part. And we're going to take just a few minutes to let a few people trickle in, and then I'm going to open the floor up for questions. There hasn't much that's changed since yesterday astrologically, so I think it's best that we get straight into the knowledge today. No. Let me hold it up. If you have not smiled yet today, now would be the perfect time to do so. I'm talking right now. And if you can't find a smile for yourself, please allow me to be the smile on your face. Because at the end of the day, all I am is the smile on your face. All I am is the motherfucking vibe.
This is crazy.
Make sure you hit the like button as you come in the door. Vibe. That is perfect. This is still a Virgo moon vibe. Just let it seep in. Yeah, I like that. This is priceless knowledge of self. We are the Vibe Tribe. There are thousands of us all over the world. That means we're not thirsty for subscribers. We're not hungry for attention. No. We're here to raise this vibration with knowledge and information. So we're going to talk about astrology and numerology and all types of stuff that helps you understand yourself better and thus raise your vibration. If it ain't for you, swipe up. If it is, just chill. Straight like that. Y'all like that? It tastes good too. No. Let's go here. Let's go here. Let's go here. No. Right. I like that. We are in that 5 vibration today, so that is something unexpected. Happy birthday to Beats by Let's Zone Out Music. Let's zone out. Yeah, I know. Smoldering Embers, what's up, baby? Yeah, I know it. No. Let's go here. Let's see what this is.
This is crazy. Perfect.
Peaceful Aura. What's up? Yeah, I like that beats. Yeah, that has a certain vibe to it, don't it? Hey, I'm not going to talk about the transit today. I'm not going to elaborate on the aspects or none of that. We talked about that yesterday. So, in just a few minutes, the floor is going to be open for any questions that you may have. And we're going to be here answering questions as long as I can take it. Happy solar return to the curator of this vibe, Beats by Bless Zone Now Music. He got his zone in now. Yeah. OG Vibe Tribe. Yeah, I know it though. It look good, don't it? Yeah. Double A, double A. Hey. It's still Leo season though. I woke up this morning and I looked in the mirror and I had almost forgot that I was this fine. But I am. What's up, Anthony? Got a hell of a vibe to it right there. And while we're here, let me once again remind y'all to go to Blue Aliens. That's www.BLU3ALIENS.com. They got some badass astrology shirts. They got some amazing crystals, but they also have them THCA gummies that not only will take you to the stars, but they will also keep you out of trouble because it just so happens that they're legal in almost all 50 states here in the United States. And they'll ship them worldwide. It'll show up right to your door. That's Blue Aliens. And that's ran by OG Vibe Tribe member Witcher on these hoes. You hear me? Some of y'all don't know the Witcher on these hoes. And I don't know how to get a hold of him. You would have to probably send him an email. I don't know if he's in any stores, but you definitely can get at Beats by Bless Zone Now Music and buy some of these instrumentals also. So make sure you fuck with Beats by Bless Zone Now Music. Make sure you go to Jupiter's Creations and get you a motherfucking music divination reading. Go to Matangi metaphysical and get you some oils. You hear me? That's ran by Sholani. But yeah, she has lots of amazing oils. She also does Vedic astrology her own self. Make sure if you're looking to monetize your spiritual gifts or you're trying to make some money off your online presence, get at Queen Machete, either on Facebook or on Instagram or even on Patreon. And she's going to be starting a YouTube soon. And I'm actually going to have her featured on this YouTube, I think on the 30th of this month. So on the 30th, her and I are going to go live together. She's going to be able to tell you about all of the stuff that she does, the amazing community that she's created. And she's also an amazing tarotist too, so she might flip some cards. I've asked her to, but I don't know if she will. She charges for those things. But yeah, it is possible that she'll flip some cards for some people or for the election or something along those lines. But yeah, that's going to be interesting. Also, I want to give a shout out to Mercurial Wonder Astrology. And yeah, just vibe. We're finna talk about the rest in a minute. Yeah, this is priceless knowledge of self. And as a matter of fact, the floor is now open for any questions that you might have about astrology or numerology or synastry within astrology or compatibility, compositry, intimacy, infidelity, insecurity, or anything else that helps you understand yourself or your relationships with other people better and thus raises that vibration. Double A. What does it mean if your BM's Neptune is in your third house? That's interesting. If her Neptune is in your third house, then I would say that y'all could have some issues in communication or understanding what the other person is trying to say. Yeah. Or she could be lying. She could be lying to you sometimes and you could be gullible to it. But I don't want to cause those type of issues. I'm just saying that's definitely a possibility. Neptune can believe that, can bring that into the mix. And so with it being in the third house, that specifically comes out verbally. It's not a misunderstanding of who you are. It's a mix up in communication, some confusion in communication. All right. So y'all could have an awesome spiritual connection, but the communication, that's an issue. Or on a positive note, you could have a natural understanding. You could easily have a natural understanding of her, or she could have a natural understanding of you. Sometimes some things don't even need to be said because what's understood ain't got to be explained. You hear me? But you already know you fucking with the best. You caught me in rare form today. That's all right. That's an excellent question, Double A. You said, how can one overcome feelings of isolation and imprisonment or loneliness in the Pisces part of one's chart? First of all, on a more practical level, you can stop isolating yourself. Stop looking at yourself as being separate from other people. But I think the easiest thing to do is use your empathy and your compassion to connect with people. Maybe plug in with people who you feel also have those same type of issues. The thing is, my Pisces is in my 5th and 6th house, and I isolate myself. I have a lot of charisma. I have a lot of, talent and personality and all that stuff that y'all see here, but I also isolate myself. See, what a lot of people don't understand is, even though I seem extremely extroverted here, I'm actually an extreme introvert. I just have an outgoing personality. And so the thing is, I don't fuck with anybody in real life. I deal with y'all online, but in real life, I keep myself away from everybody. Even at home, I usually spend a lot of my time separate from my family, and that causes issues. It's caused issues in my personal relationships. It's caused issues in communication with people. It's put a certain isolation into my own life unnecessarily at times. But I need so much time by myself that sometimes it's unhealthy. Even though I use that time to heal, I also take it to the extreme. And so I like self-isolating, and it's something that I do naturally, but it's also something that I need to work on within my relationships, because that's not fair to the people I'm involved in. Because I've seen a lot of instances where my partners, hell, especially my wife now, sometimes she can start thinking that just because I need time by myself, it means I need time away from her. And it actually has nothing to do with her. I don't need time away from her. There is no problem between us. I just need to be with me and me only for a little bit. Or for a lot of bit. But yeah, I'm like that. And so I need time by myself every single day in order for me to sort out what's going on with me and with the world. And if I'm going to be okay, I have to sort that out on my own. I won't be okay because somebody consoled me. That's not how I operate. You can tell me all kinds of stuff. You can pat me on the back, give me hugs. And the hug will feel good physically. But other than that, it's not going to help me work through my issues. The only way I work through my issues is on my own, when I'm by myself. And I think having such an amazing online community has helped me, but it also has given me this sense where I've disconnected from the real people in my life at certain times. I used to have friends. I think about it all the time, like, dang, bro, you used to have friends. You used to have so many fucking friends. And I mean, I have people that care about me, and they're still my friends, but I used to hang out with people, and we used to kick it, and I used to spend time outside of my home or outside of my little space within my home. And so I've really had to address that on my own. And so that's an excellent question. You just have to reach out with compassion. But I don't know if it's something that you need to get over. Depends on how much issues it's causing in your life. And no, Watkins Cat House, it doesn't have to be a bad thing. Not at all. Do you hear me? What's the difference between a Pisces Mars and a Cancer Mars? The Cancer Mars is a lot more emotional. Even though they're both emotionally influenced, the Cancer Mars is a lot more directly emotional, and thus those emotions have to be accounted for in every situation. Now, the Pisces, it's like those emotions can cause confusion. But with the Cancer, those emotions are so direct and so, in certain instances, volatile that they have to be compensated for in every situation. And so things don't necessarily get addressed straight on because the emotions have to be compensated for in that mix. So yeah. And a Cancer, Cancer Mars is a little bit harder to deal with because Mars falls in Cancer. There's sensitivity that doesn't necessarily come with the Pisces Mars. SeSsIoN. Welcome to the scene. I like that vibe. Cancer Mars are passive aggressive, but sometimes they're aggressive because of those emotions. So it's a lot to deal with having a Cancer Mars. Being with a Cancer Mars is a lot to deal with. They can be great sexually because they're so sensual and they are able to express their emotions in that way passionately. But there's also something inside of them that just clings to those feelings, and that makes those emotions have to be compensated for.
90.
Ooh, Villanita, I hate when people say that. I hate when people say that. Maybe it's because I take astrology so seriously a lot of the times. But as soon as people say Mercury's in Gatorade, I'm like, that shit is so fucking stupid. Stop copying other people. And I'm not telling you that, but still, as soon as I saw that, I was like, ugh, it made me cringe inside. Like, I hate Mercury when they say Mercury is in Gatorade. Like, that shit's stupid. Now, when Mercury is in retrograde and the moon is in your 6th house, do you think that you can paint your room easily but plans don't go well? It could possibly go like that. You make things more difficult than it has to be.
90.
I could definitely say that. I really ain't going to Watkins Cat House. Fuck your ex. I love you, but fuck your ex. We ain't talk about your ex. You need to stop talking about your ex. I know that's gonna make you mad, but fuck that. You could ask me anything else, but fuck that. I ain't answering shit about George. Fuck George. I'm not explaining any further. Fuck that nigga. I said it. That nigga's not gonna be a topic of discussion today. You said you have Cancer, Chiron in Cancer in the 10th house. And so, with Chiron in Cancer in the 10th house, that looks like issues with one of your parents or your relationship with one of your parents. And it made you really sensitive to what people say about you and think about you. And it can make it really hard for you to get out of a certain comfort zone. So you need to figure out a way to get out that comfort zone so you can be ambitious. Exactly. Bronx Mystic was cracking into BX. He said you have the same placement, but in the 9th along with Jupiter. Ooh, I like that. Anita says she got the subconscious mind can do anything, or the subconscious mind can do anything. I didn't know what the whole thing by John Kehoe earlier, and you're already on page 100. That means it must be a great book. That's that Virgo energy being put to an excellent use. With all of this Gemini and Virgo energy out here, you need to just learn something. Learn something. Stimulate your mind, man. Watkins Cathouse said, what's the difference between Jupiter being in your first and your second? In Western, it's in your first, and Vedic, it's in your second. In Sidereal, it's in your second. Vedic is a principle and a practice. Sidereal is an astrology, strictly astrology perspective. Now, you use Sidereal in Vedic, but Vedic is so much more. It's a practice. Now, what's the difference between Jupiter being in your first and your second? Well, I would say Jupiter in your first, in certain instances, would give you exuberance. Now, I would look at it and say, well, in other instances, it gives you self-esteem, or in both instances, it gives you confidence and self-esteem. In the second house, it's going to really help with self-worth, and that actually helps you gain more things materially in your life. But in the first house, it can do the exact same thing. It's just something where it puts a certain confidence in you. It gives you principles and morals. And when it's in Capricorn or Aquarius, the thing is, it takes on a little different hue. Because it gives you, in Aquarius, it gives a person that this amount of detachment from their feelings that can be really fortunate for them. When it's in I know yours is, but I'm just saying, when it's in Capricorn, I would say it gives you integrity. See, that's why you're so morally profound, and you're always pretty judgy. Is that Jupiter in Capricorn in your first house? It's more or less like you have certain things that you're not willing to do, and you kind of look down on certain people that do them. But those same morals and principles are really going to help you in life in certain instances, because you have boundaries that a lot of people don't have, and you're able to develop certain levels of integrity that really are going to help you in your life and make people trust you. And so it imbues you with a certain amount of responsibility. So yeah. But it also gives you a certain amount of confidence in your authentic self. Kill them. In the second house, it could play out materially, or it could be a thing about self-worth. And as much as we're talking about morals in the first, it affects your values in the second. And both are reflective of each other. That's why when you look at things from a sidereal perspective, and then you look at things from a tropical perspective, if you're gifted enough, or if you're at least deep enough in your understanding, you can be able to see how both of them play out in your life. Now, I don't want you to make that question if astrology is an applicable practice or science or anything like that, because it is. It is. You have both of those going on at once. I will say this. I have certain issues with my sidereal placements, because I don't sense me having Mercury or Venus in Cancer in the 11th house. That's not really me. I can see Mercury being in Pushya Nakshatra, which makes perfect sense because of my intellect and because of my communication skills. And I can see my Venus being in Astrology because of how it plays out within my relationships. But as far as seeing Mercury and Venus being in Cancer in the 11th house, I don't relate to that. I do relate to Mercury and Venus being in Leo in the 10th house. I just don't see how that plays out within my 11th house. Now, I will say this. As far as Western goes, or tropical goes, I can see how I have the sun in Cancer in my 9th house. But I can also see from a sidereal perspective how I could have my sun in Gemini in the 10th house. A lot of people can see that. Look what I do for my career. It involves communication. The 11th house has to do with gains, but it also has to do with associations and friendships. It has to do with your wishes. The 11th house has to do with community, philanthropy, humanitarianism. Uh, it's more about groups. Now, for me, I don't really see that. I could see it now that you say that, but it's not something that I readily relate to. Now, I do relate to my son being where it is, but hold up. You said, how does Venus in Astrologia play out in my relationships? Well, I've had some really volatile relationships, and I'm actually attracted to dangerous women. I can definitely see that. But I can also see how I myself have Astrologia personality traits. So yeah, I got that Astrologia. I can even see how it plays out sexually. See, Astrologia is represented by those nagas, but there's also a certain squeeze that comes with Astrologia. And one of my favorite things sexually is to wrap my arms around my partner and hold her tight while I'm working it, thrusting it, even when I'm coming, skeeting. That's actually what I love to do. And so there is ways that I see that plays out specifically in my life. With Mercury being in Pusha, I look to my intellect and my communication skills. See, Pusha is a cow's udder, and so I nurture that spiritually, but it's also a natural gift for me. And Pusha means the best. And so without tooting my own horn, I do feel like I'm quite adept communicatively. I am quite intelligent. Don't fuck with me. Yeah. But yeah. I can use both. I just, there's certain things I don't relate to. I relate way more to my Mars being in Capricorn in the 4th house than I do Sagittarius in the 4th house. But I could also say that that's something that could also be an ideology that I've created within my mind, because I know that Mars is exalted in Capricorn. And so because of me knowing that, I kind of project into that. And so I could also see from another perspective how it could be Mars and Sagittarius in the 4th house. Because I do have military in my family. I do come from a spiritual family where my grandfather was the pastor of the church. I do have certain luck from my family. But I relate more to my Mars being in Tura Ashada Nakshatra than both placements. Atura Ashada is represented by an elephant. And it's asking, how do you become undefeatable? Well, you become undefeatable by knowing how to pick battles, by fighting the right battles, and also by not losing. It's not about beating anyone else. It's about figuring out how you can keep from losing. And I don't fucking lose. I've said that my whole life. It's funny, when I found out that my Mars was in Atura Ashada, I laughed, because one of my favorite phrases that I use is, I tell people all the time, I don't lose. That don't mean I beat you, but I don't fucking lose. I won't lose. But yeah, I see that. But that's from the sidereal perspective. I relate to being a Libra rising. I don't know if I relate to my ascendant being in either Hastya or Chitra Nakshatra. I don't relate to being a Virgo rising either. That's something I cannot see. So that is one of the things that I'm like, I don't know about that. I don't think I'm a Virgo rising at all. I don't relate to my moon being in Aquarius. But I do relate to my, well, I can in certain instances. I am rebellious. I am rebellious. I am peculiar. But I do relate to my moon being in Pisces in the 5th house. And I do relate to my moon being in Shadabishak Nakshatra. That's me. Because I always go against the grain. I always go for the underdog. I always stir up some shit. Do you hear me? That's my favorite beat out of all of them. Let's run that back. That's addicting. This is addiction. Yeah. They done fucked up and let me start feeling myself today. Yeah. Did I miss anybody's questions? If you have a question and I missed it, ask again. Anthony, you said, what does Taurus in the 6th house mean? Or Taurus sun in the 6th house means you're a hard worker, you're patient, you're solid, you're dependable, you're a hard worker, you're conservative. And you get paid nicely for your work too. You probably get paid better than everybody else. But you're also stubborn. You're stuck in a certain set of habits. Routine can become addicting. Can I talk about Saturn being in Shravanya Nakshatra? See, Shravanya is about the journey. And so when you look at Saturn being in Shravanya Nakshatra, this is, and it's funny that this is in the 9th house for you. It really points to the journey to figure out who you are. And you're really going to come to the point where you realize you're so much different than everybody else. You should have never tried to fit in with anybody. There's going to be some times where who you are feels foreign to your own understanding. But that's okay. You're on a journey to find out who you are and what you're capable of and what the true meaning of life is. But I'm telling you, when you get done, you're going to see that it wasn't about the destination. It was about the journey. The purpose of life is to live a purposeful life. It's not to become a specific thing. That's Shravanya. You're walking the path. Ebony, you said, what do I think about Mars in Pisces and Gemini squared in Sinistry? I think it's fun and sexy, but it's toxic as fuck. That's how it goes with Pisces and Gemini, and I've talked about them so many times. My mama was a Pisces, my daddy is a Gemini. And let me tell you, They had a lot of fun, but they also was really, 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 really toxic for each other. My mom used to tell me all the time, I love your daddy to death, but we should have just stayed friends. I should have never been more than best friends with him. And so there is a certain amount of, and my mama loved them Geminis. I don't know why. And she had Venus in Aries, but she loved them Geminis. You like this beat? They got that old school flavor to it, don't it? Let's run it back, let's run it back, let's run it back.
This is crazy. Perfect.
Yeah, I like that vibe. Cosmic Sky, what's up, baby? Yeah. Anthony Molina, you said Mars is husband and Venus is wife's. Maybe. I don't look at it like that. I look at Jupiter as husband and Venus as wife. But Venus is going to be your partner in a lot of instances in Vedic astrology anyway. But I look at Jupiter as being husband. And look at Juno or Venus as being wife. And I can actually see how that plays out in real life. Now, the concept that a lot of astrologers use is a woman's Jupiter sign can be linked to her husband's moon sign. Now, that doesn't always play out, so I don't want people to come on and say, but I have seen this play out in my life, and this is a principle that is taught astrologically. And what I mean by husband is I mean husband. I don't mean good husband. I don't mean soulmate. I don't mean boyfriend. I don't mean best relationship. It doesn't have to be good. That's not what I'm saying. It points to that specifically. All right. For instance, my ex-wife's Jupiter is 8 degrees of Pisces. My moon is 8 degrees of Pisces. Straight like that. And hers is actually in her 7th house. She is a Virgo rising. And so that played out exactly in her life. My wife now has Jupiter in her 12th house at 20 degrees of Pisces. My moon is 8 degrees of Pisces, but my Jupiter is 22 degrees of Pisces. So yeah. My son has a Gemini Mars and he's very quiet. I know they get that reputation for being communicative and talkative and all that shit. No. My oldest son is a Leo sun, Gemini moon with Gemini Mars. And he is the quietest person that I've ever encountered in my life. He talks, but sparingly. He doesn't say more than he has to ever. And he's overall a very quiet person. Now, I would say it's because he has Virgo rising and Mercury in Virgo. But yeah, with him having his Gemini Mars, he's very quiet. His moon, he's the other side of Gemini. His brother, who's a Gemini moon also, is very talkative. He's very sociable. He's a Libra sun Gemini moon with Capricorn rising, but he's very talkative, very sociable. But my oldest son, he's more quiet. He talks to people. but he's not gonna ever go initiate a conversation or be loud or be talking a lot. That's not how he operates. So yeah, I see both sides of the Gemini moon spectrum. And with his Gemini Mars, I'm still waiting to see how that plays out. But I think that Virgo rising makes him very particular about certain things and how he speaks. Could I describe an individual with Virgo Mars? Absolutely. Virgo Mars is going to make somebody a technician in certain instances. They have a real focus on doing things right. And that means there can be a complete professional, or they can get completely entangled in the minutia and situations can decay around them. And they're a person who looks into the details or operates on detail. And so being so detail oriented, every time they feel mad or angry or fucked up or even scared, they're going to retreat into those same details that make them feel safe. And I would just say that there's probably something, at least one thing that they do especially well with Virgo Mars. Better than everybody else. What's up, Marcel? Can I describe people with Jupiter and Aries? Those are people who have supreme confidence in themselves. It's not the same as Leo, because that can be bravado. No, they believe in that which is most immediate with Jupiter and Aries. And sometimes they can be reckless. They believe they can do certain stuff. They believe that, you know, they're unstoppable forces at times. And they're able to accomplish a lot more than most people. But in certain instances, that can also hinder them because they can be reckless. And they're straight up. There's a certain honesty to them that they themselves value greatly. And with Jupiter and Aries, the only problem I see with them is they have a lack of patience. But they have a lot of courage. They have so much fucking courage. And that doesn't mean they're never scared. It means that even if they're scared, they keep going anyway. And that's something admirable. Yeah. Jupiter in Cancer. Jupiter is exalted in Cancer. Jupiter loves being in Cancer because there's integrity and love that comes from Jupiter in Cancer that is indomitable. And it's blessed from the roots. From the roots. It comes from a good place. And it gets better as time goes because it came from such a good place. And yeah, that's Jupiter in Cancer. They have a great support system too that leaves them blessed. A great support system. Virgo and Capricorn compatibility, they go great together. They might stress each other the fuck out, but they do great together. Capricorn's gonna be in charge though, because they require it. But Virgo can also be irreplaceable within that bond because Virgo is gonna do it the right way. And can't nobody else do it exactly the right way. And Capricorn appreciates that. A job well done, hard work, Capricorn loves that. But Virgo can also be a little bit more submissive than Capricorn will ever allow themselves to be. Thoughts on Jupiter and Libra in the 10th house? That's people skills. You can be good at a lot of stuff, but you have people skills that really help you excel in life. Jupiter in Libra is actually my favorite Jupiter placement. Even though it's not exalted in Libra, Jupiter in Libra is my favorite because you can be good at all types of things. Art, music, acting, law, mechanic work, fucking people, social work. I said people work, but social work, entertainment, all types of stuff. And you're masters at seeing the whole thing from only getting a small perspective, and you're very objective, and you don't let your feelings get in the way. So you can really, really gather some amazing blessings. What are my thoughts on Leo Chiron in the 9th house? You don't have a lot of faith in yourself, or they don't have a lot of faith in themselves. And as they grow in their spirituality, their confidence starts to grow. But they need to figure out why they're here. They need to figure out their purpose. And that'll allow them to align with their true confidence. Jupiter and Taurus in the 1st house. You're a solid person, or they're a solid person. They're dependable. They're patient, they're calm, they have a calming effect on other people. They're very sensual, and they're very deliberate. And so all of that really helps them in life. And they have a lot of self-worth. Can I describe natals with Sun and Mercury both conjunct Uranus? No, but who could, Marcel? That's somebody who's going to be completely different than ordinary logic would ever have you suspect. Yes, they are enigmas. They're very intelligent too, but they're enigmas. That's how I would describe them, enigmas. Jupiter and Leo in the 12th house. You have a confidence deep inside of you that doesn't show, but you can also attract drama sometimes. You got big energy, and that big energy can sometimes bring drama into your life. Taurus can have a short temper. I would say that Taurus is patient and calm and determined, but Taurus can also get annoyed really fast. It's a bull. Think about that bull. Yeah. You fuck with the bull, you gonna get the horns. Try to hit you with this yappa. Hold up, I'm missing questions. Yeah, Jupiter and Leo in the 12th house. That's very interesting. You have like a guardian angel, but you believe that it's going to come. You have a confidence. I would say Jupiter in the 12th house means you have a guardian angel in your corner, but your guardian angel is your confidence, your belief that it's going to turn out the way you want it to. You can manifest great things in your life with Jupiter and Leo in the 12th house because you believe that you can. But you can also bring some drama in your life too sometimes. Your ex-boss in the fashion industry had Jupiter in Libra on your North Node, and you just wanted to be around her and learn as much as possible about people's skills. I believe that. That's an excellent, that's perfect. Ebony, you said or a partner, Sun, Mercury, Venus in the 10th house, conjunct Saturn and Uranus. That's interesting. When their Sun and Mercury and Venus is in your 10th house, that actually, in certain ways, helps you. What's the word I'm looking for? I don't want to say it helps you with ambition, but it helps your reputation even a little bit, and it makes you want to achieve more. It pushes you further. And when it's conjunct your Saturn and Uranus in there, it's more or less like that relationship that, and with it being in 10th house, is something that can grow and flourish over time. There might be issues between y'all, but y'all look really good together. I can say that. Temptress the Enchantress. You said sounds about right. Marcel, you said, can I explain why Pluto square ascendant native is extremely magnetic, mysterious, and alluring to others? I don't know if I agree with that. I think Pluto on the ascendant makes somebody extremely mysterious and magnetic and alluring to other people. But it depends on if Pluto is square to that in the 10th house or in the 4th house. If it's in the 4th house, there's something inside them. There's just something that people can't put their finger on that people want to find out about them. If it's in the 10th house, they have a certain power to them that really draws people to them. AA said, do I subscribe to the idea that Aquarius is co-ruled by Uranus? Absolutely. Co-ruled, though, not ruled. That's where they get mixed up with modern astrology, is they say, no, Aquarius is ruled by Uranus. No, it's co-ruled by Uranus. Scorpio is co-ruled by Pluto. Because Uranus can't be your chart ruler. In my professional opinion, Uranus can't be a chart ruler. Neptune can't be a chart ruler. Pluto can't be a chart ruler. So with Pisces, Jupiter is still the chart ruler, even though it is co-ruled by Neptune. With Aquarius, Saturn is still the chart ruler, even though it is co-ruled by Uranus. With Scorpio, Mars is still the chart ruler, even though it's co-ruled by Pluto. Peaceful Aura said, Aries in the 8th house, a lot of fucking passion. A lot of passion about fucking life and about everything. But it could also mean other stuff as far as it depends on what's influencing it there. It can make you violent. It can make you sexually impulsive. It can bring danger into your life from certain sexual things. So yeah. Hold up. What's the difference between having your South Node and having your North Node on somebody's 12th house? I mean, the South Node is stuff that is already naturally there. The North Node is stuff that's growing or accumulating, or something that's developing. Anthony said, what does a Virgo Sun and Jupiter and Mercury in the 10th house mean? And it means that that person's a hard worker. It's somebody who's looking to make themselves useful. It's somebody who's really skilled at something. It means that people look at that person as somebody who's highly skilled at something, or highly intelligent, or extremely proficient. Sharon Little said, if you fuck with the bull, you'll get the horn every 8 to 10 months. I believe that. Marcel said, can I describe people with Pluto square descendant? And is it similar to Venus square Pluto aspect? No. And Pluto square descendant is not a thing. I would just look at it as Pluto square ascendant. Because if it's square to the ascendant, it's also square to the descendant. You understand? And so not only does Pluto being square to the ascendant affect the native, but it affects their relationships. So whether it's the stuff that's going on in the 10th house and the issues that they have with their public image or with their ambition, and they push so hard to accomplish a certain thing, or there's something inside of them that's relentless in their pursuit, that affects not only the native, but it affects their relationships. When they have family issues and they have such deep karmic stuff going on with their family, then that ends up affecting the native and their relationships. You feel me? And you said you have Mars in the 7th house. Can that be a blend of Venusian and Martian energy together? Absolutely. Absolutely. But it could also mean that you have really passionate relationships, or it can mean that you have volatile relationships. But it does mean you have a lot of passion. It does mean you're very sexual. But there's also some stuff in there that could end up playing out in a way that could be dangerous. Maddening Monk. What's cracking, cuz? You said, Can I tell you the best way to describe your future spouse? Should you look at your Venus placement or should you look at the Lord of your 7th house? You should look at your 7th house as a whole. And you say, should you look at your planet, your DonRodrigo? I love when they use those Vedic terminologies. Planet. You could look at all of it. But I would say Venus describes what you're attracted to or even the nature of your relationships. But the 7th house is more about your partner, your spouse. Look, my 7th house is Aries. I ain't gonna lie to you. I've been married 3 times to an Aries sun, an Aries moon, and an Aries rising. No lie to you. What's up, Joni? Marcel, can I describe Pluto opposite the midheaven, relationships and partnerships and projections? You're intrigued. Well, with Pluto opposite to the midheaven, the thing is that person does have a lot of ambition, but they also have a lot of feelings, and they also have a lot of stuff going on inside of them that can sometimes make them have to work on that before they can really pursue their worldly pursuits and before they can become who they become. So there's some stuff that that's changing inside of them and that they're growing out of that is going to really make them become somebody else as time goes on. And so, yeah. And you said, can I explain their relationships and their partnerships and their projections? Here's the thing: they feel things so deeply with Pluto there on that nadir, or close to that IC. They feel things so deeply, and they have these deep connections with people, and so a lot of the times that can end up helping that relationship push on, or other times it can make that shit too intense. And then when it comes to their projections, they have a hard time trusting people. For whatever happened within their family environment growing up, they have a hard time trusting other people that they don't know. And their thoughts and their emotions are so closely linked that they have to really deal with themselves before they can have healthy relationships. I'm a Libra rising. Madden Monk, you said, how do I have it in me to get married 3 times? I'm a Libra rising. You hear me? I got Aries on the 7th house. So not only does it play out literally, but it also plays out energetically. Sharon Little said that Aries Cancer connection is crazy. It is. It's toxic than a motherfucker. It's great for sex, but that shit ends up being an issue. What does Taurus 7th house mean as far as your shadow side? I don't really look at the 7th house as being your shadow side. I know that's a concept that'd be there, but I would look more for your shadow side being where the Black Moon Lilith is. Now, if your Black Moon Lilith is in Taurus in the 7th house, that brings it into the mix. But it's not saying a lot about your shadow side. It's just, that's not the things inside that you express openly. It more or less gets projected or it gets brought out of you within relationships. And so, with Pluto in your, with Scorpio in your 1st house, that's your shadow side. Watkins Cat House, your 7th house is Cancer. You married in Aries with Mars in Cancer, with prominent Cancer placements. Definitely plays out. Can I describe Venus quintile Mars? I can, but I mean, what's the point? I don't really. I understand what quintiles mean, but I don't really look at quintiles. I think that I look at that as being something that doesn't really matter. Biquintiles and quintiles are something that I myself professionally. I'm not trying to dismiss what you want to know, but I'm just saying. Venus is when Venus is quintile Mars. It's about figuring out what you like, how you like it, and acting on that. But yeah, Lisa Sims, you said you just save yourself from any relationships problems to begin with, but you have Venus opposite Uranus and your Venus. That's interesting. Lisa Sims, you said Chiron is in Gemini in your 12th house, so you don't tend to make any good decisions when it comes to relationships. That's possible. Madden Monk said, would I say being a Capricorn descendant with Aquarius moon makes you more sensitive to relationship issues? I feel like you deal with a lot of drama regarding relationships. I think there's other stuff that would mean that. And I think that being a Cancer rising makes you sensitive to relationships. Having Capricorn on the descendant kind of makes you keep people at a certain distance. And Aquarius there is going to do the same thing. Sun sextile to Pluto. You have a lot of vitality. You're a strong person. You make all the changes necessary that are needed in your life for you to make your life better. And you believe in yourself and you can rely on yourself, but you can also utilize other people. That's what the sextile does beautifully. It's like, man, you work really well with other people, but you also do great by yourself, and you have a lot of personal power, and people want to help you. And people want to be a part of you be a part of your energy because you are powerful and you are strong and you are somebody who can really take things and make them yours and make them work out just through the power that you bring with you. And you have a lot of fucking vitality. And you're the type of person who's drawn to important issues that need to be worked on within self or that need to be addressed within life. Damn, I'm missing a lot of questions. Uranus and Aquarius generation. How does Uranus play out in their lives? I wouldn't say Uranus is a generation. I mean, it's a generational aspect, but I wouldn't call that a generation. Pluto is going to be more representative of a whole generation. But, or I mean, Uranus kind of, now that I think about it, it could. But there are people who really are out to help other people. I'll say this, with Uranus and Aquarius, they're really out to help other people. They're very unique and they're really out to help other people. But sometimes on a negative sense, they think whatever they want for other people is what other people should be doing, no matter if it's best for them or not. What does an 11th house Libra Venus mean? It means you get along with people really well. That's what it means. I mean, you're great in relationships too, but they have to be your friend too. It's not just about being in a relationship with them. You have to get along with them and be their friend. And you're very tolerant. You can see things that you can connect with a lot of different people. But that is that camaraderie within your interpersonal connections is very important to you. And see, a lot of people just look for sex, and they're looking for somebody that's gratifying them physically, or somebody that they're attracted to, or somebody that's gonna take care of them. But what you need is somebody that you can get along with and somebody that you can understand. And you're going to go that extra mile to make sure that you understand them so that y'all can get along better. But it is important that you have a companionship and a camaraderie and a friendship with the people that you're in love with. Do I have any relationship advice for you? Yeah, stop getting into secret relationships and stop having, little stuff on the cool. And don't accept that shit when somebody tries to tell you that they're private or this. Nah, motherfucker, you got something else going on. Understand what's good to you might not necessarily be good for you, Lisa. What's good to you might not be good for you. Yeah, I know you. Does having the same moon signs, particularly Aquarius, make people feel more connected intuitively, like telepathy and feeling each other's emotions and more? It could, but it's Aquarius, so you're talking about feeling emotions. Moon and Aquarius ain't really feeling emotions. it's where they're willing to give each other the space to be who they are, and they're not pressing it, is what I would say. And that helps. That helps. It's not somebody who's going to get in their feelings when that person doesn't respond the way that they expect them to. It's not somebody who's going to be clingy. It's somebody who's going to understand that this person is different, and that thus allows them to give them space. Lisa Sims, you said you're talking. I'm talking about with your particular placements also. You have all that Gemini in the 12th house shit. And so with all of that, you know, you get attached to people who aren't necessarily healthy for you. So you need to take some time by yourself and figure out what's actually healthy for you, and then don't accept anything less than that. And yes, I'm talking about friends with benefits relationships. I'm talking about little sneaky shit. I'm talking about people that are already in relationships. I'm talking about stuff that, you know, and that's what you're kind of drawn to, whether you know it openly or not. Marcel, you said you have Mars in the 7th house opposite your ascendant, and you've attracted so many men and women. You've been called a girl even though you're a man. Can that be a part of Venus-Mars energy blended together? Absolutely. That is a perfect explanation of that. And I don't even have to elaborate on it. That's, yes. You are very sensitive. What's up, go-getter? Yeah, we on this priceless knowledge of self. Just vibe. Most challenging North Node placement. I think it's all challenging. I would have to think about that for a few minutes. It's not something I can just come right off my head, because it depends on your life and your personal path and how you deal with stuff and what's going on. But I would say Scorpio. Probably Scorpio. Because there is a certain comfort zone and a certain level of safety that you're going to have to leave, and you're going to have to open up, and you're going to have to share, and you're going to have to be vulnerable in a way that can really be scary. What does Aquarius moon in the 3rd house mean? I would say that you as an individual are very intelligent, you're very perceptive, but as far as your own emotions, you have some problems in communicating them effectively, because you don't understand emotion. You can talk about all types of stuff, you can make friends and get along with people, and you can help people, and but at the same time you have a hard time fitting in, or feeling like that you're somebody who's easy for other people to understand, because you don't understand you. And just because you don't understand you doesn't mean that there's not somebody who's willing to try to work on that with you. But that creates this sense of detachment from your emotions. And so you can communicate really well. You can talk to people. And you really aren't, hard-pressed and a rebel like people might think. But you come across as somebody who's very different than everybody else. And so that can create issues. And you just spend a lot of time trying to rationalize things. Madden Monk, you said, which rising signs would be the most vulnerable and hurt during heartbreak and traumas according to my experience? Scorpio risings, Taurus risings, Capricorn risings. Yeah. Aries risings, maybe because that Libra, they're not Libra risings though. How can somebody with the Pisces midheaven 10th house promote themselves? Stop underestimating yourself. Stop allowing other people to underestimate you or project certain images onto you. And so be authentic and believe in yourself. Believe in yourself supremely. Watkins Caddo said, do I subscribe to the idea that the South Node is something that you can never quite get out of and the North Node is something that you can never quite achieve? I don't subscribe to that. I think that it is true that the South Node is not something that you can ever get out of. Even though people say you're supposed to get away from your South Node, that's not what that means. The South Node is a natural part of you. It's your natural tendencies. It's your go-to behaviors. While you're supposed to use that South Node to try to develop that, try your best to develop those skills of the North Node, because it's on the same axis. So they go hand in hand, whether you know that or not. So I would say that you can achieve your North Node, but when you do, you die. When you do, you dead. Woo! You dead. Lisa Sims says, what is it keeps drawing you back to those unhealthy relationships? And yes, it's that fucking Venus and Gemini in the 12th house. It's that fucking Gemini 12th house shit. You like that shit. That shit's interesting. It's a lot more on the cool. That shit is kind of it turns you on a little bit to have some mischievous shit going on or some shit going on, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But I do know that that keeps it more interesting. That there's a certain dynamic that's involved in those liaisons that keeps it more interesting than if you were involved in some mundane shit. Villanita said, have I heard about Lilith being connected to lesbian energy? I have, but I think that people try to look for something that they connect to that. Lilith can be all types of things. So if that's what you want to use to explain what's going on with you and your preferences, that's fine. But I personally think could be all types of stuff with that. Maddening Monk, you said, what are my thoughts on angel numbers? You've been seeing them the past 2-3 years now, and recently they've been crazy like every other hour. I think that something is trying to get your attention. I wouldn't necessarily call, they call them angel numbers, but I do feel like there's a synchronicity that you're starting to notice. And so you notice it now, and those being presented to you more and more often, or you becoming aware of them more and more often, is really hipping you to your energy. And there's something either with your higher self or something inside of you that's starting to recognize things for what they are, or even more than that, there's something in the universe trying to get your attention. Sharon Little, I don't run the crystal. That's not my website. That's the Witcher on these hoes. I just promoting it. And if any of you had a business, get at me and I'll promote your business. So yeah. Marcel said they have moon conjunct Venus. Can that make you very sensitive, homey, beautiful, sexy? Yes. It is gonna make you that. And you have a deep love nature, and you also attract very emotional and caring partners. Why? Because, it's Venus conjunct the moon, and then when the moon is conjunct to Venus, you're sensitive to other people. You seem like you care, whether you really do or not, and so people are going to be drawn to you. And those type of people that, are looking for somebody to care are usually the same type of people who are willing to reciprocate in that. And so, absolutely, people get the perception or they get this notion that you are a caring person and that you're compassionate. And you said you have Sun conjunct Neptune, enigmatic allure, withdrawn and mysterious appeal to your persona. Yeah, there's that. You're a great actor, also. But yeah, you also have things where you know how to read situations and people, and you can fit in with just about anybody. Damn, I'm way behind. The supernova surfer. You said North Node in Sagittarius in the 9th house, sextile to Lilith in Aquarius in the 11th house. I mean, your North Node is in Sagittarius in the 9th house. You're here on a spiritual journey. You're here to really learn how to understand things. Not just know things, but understand them. And with Lilith in the Aquarius in the 11th house, you kind of get caught up in other people and in groups and situations that kind of pull you away from your purpose. So you understanding who you are, what your path is, and what your purpose is big. And so I would definitely say that represents the journey to understand who you are and what life is. But that's hard to do with that sextile to Lilith because you're so caught up in other people and you care so much about other people. And you're so different. And you want to fit in. But you have your own personal path and journey. Oh, yeah. Manny Monk, you said the universe fucked you up real bad. Now they want your attention. I believe it. Jupiter squared Neptune. What's the potential of this aspect? You can manifest amazing things, but you can also create some really unrealistic expectations. So it works both ways. You can have unrealistic expectations, and your imagination is very profound. And so through that, there's going to be some times where people in situations seem unreal to you, or you seem unreal to other people. But also, because you believe, you're able to make things happen that other people would be amazed by. Your sense of belief is extremely profound. Your belief in yourself. And so you can easily make things happen and manifest things that other people would only dream about. But you could also create some really unrealistic expectations for yourself or some difficulties for yourself by not being real. Hold up. Hold up. Yeah. Anyway. What does a 9th house Gemini Mars mean? Versatility. Somebody who's very quick. Somebody who's very intelligent. Maybe clever. Somebody who's on the go. Beats by Bless Zone Out Music. You said Cancer Moon Man, Leo Moon Woman compatibility. That's also because that's like your baby. That's your baby. You're very proud of her. And you can help take care of her and nurture her. And she really looks to that. She might have some daddy issues or something. What's up, Branson? Maddening Monk, you said, does the planet with the highest degree mean anything in the chart? Some say it does. In Vedic, it does. Me personally, that's just another one of those subtleties that I myself, I don't necessarily subscribe to. Pisces rising and Libra rising compatibility. Yeah, but fucking, who's gonna be real? I mean, they can be cool, they can get along and be straight, but who's gonna be real? Hell no. Hold up. You like the drama. Stop lying. You like the drama. That shit turns you on. You said, can you have all high and low degrees? You have high and low degrees, yeah. Manny Monk, you said, what would be the one way that I would look at two people's chart and can tell if they're meant to be destined partners? Are there clear indications that could signify that connection? Yeah, Venus and North Node context. That's more what's destined when it's conjunctions or trines or sextiles with Venus in the North Node. Now, I could also say Saturn. Saturn is going to be the glue that holds a relationship together in synastry. Besides Scorpio and Pisces, what is a good sun moon compatibility for a Pisces moon? Virgo moon. Virgo moon. Capricorn moon can do all right with Pisces. Cancer can do all right. Taurus will do probably the best. Taurus is probably the best. Venus trine Saturn, Saturn trine ascendant, and Venus trine ascendant, grand fire trine. What does that mean? I mean, it means you're a passionate person. You put out a lot of confidence, but you also can have some issues because of your ego or because of your pushiness or because you're so passionate, and in certain ways it's going to come out aggressively. That's the Saturn part of it. But other than that, with everything else, you have a lot of passion, you have a lot of personality, you have a lot of vitality, and you're action oriented. But you also can be self-centered, and you can also come across like you're having an attitude, or you're being assertive, or that you're selfish. Moon trine Jupiter, emotions and feelings, positivity. You have feelings and emotions, and they're not always what you want them to be or what you expect them to be, but you believe it's going to get better. But you also can really overindulge in your own emotions with Moon trine Jupiter. But you understand things so well. You understand things so fucking well. And it's natural. And your understanding of emotions, or your honest expression of emotion, is like a breath of fresh air for people. There's nothing fake about you. So yeah. What's up, Rainbow Goddess? Hey, where you been, Iris? We missed you. Y'all say what's up to fucking Iris. She been gone for a long time. Iris, we missed you. The motherfucking Rainbow Goddess 82 been in New York City and all over the world. Yeah. Yeah. What's up, Iris? What's up? What's going on with you? You ain't got no boyfriend? Marcel, you said Moon in Sagittarius. Oh, I appreciate the Cash App love, Sharon Little. You said Moon in Sagittarius, trying Saturn in Aries, kind of suppresses intense emotions and have control, honest, and assertive feelings. It could. But Saturn in Aries makes you have a chip on your shoulder. It makes you have like an attitude. Makes you feel like somebody's trying to stop you or keep you from doing you. Oh, you met him in the gaming sphere. Let me find out you killed him. You was on Fortnite and you blew his fucking head off. You fucking murked that motherfucker and you liked it. I'm just playing, Iris. I'm just happy to see you. I'm giving you a hard time. I'm happy to see you. I've been seeing you around, but I thought you were sick of me. Can I scroll up and give some pointers on what? Hold up. Let me scroll up. Good Lord. You are honest and shit, though, Marcel, but you also fucking... You got an attitude and you're self-centered. Or you seem that way. What am I missing? You told me to scroll up. What am I missing? What about Venus conjunct Saturn in Scorpio synastry? That's good. Venus conjunct Saturn it makes people last a long time. It can be toxic too, because that fucking Saturn shit. I mean, that Scorpio shit. But that also, over time, like, because of the way that they are, y'all develop a trust and an understanding right there. And so that could be something that really, really helps. That Saturn connection is the glue. Ebony said, their North Node and Venus are in Rohini. Your Jupiter and their Venus, Sun, and Chiron are in Kritika. Y'all have that weird push and pull. Their moon is on your Neptune. Why can't you block them out your life? Because, well, the more I think about it, that's first of all, that's that Taurus and Gemini energy. And it's Aries. Kritika is Aries at the very end. But it's also Taurus energy. See, what's crazy is one of my sons has a Gemini moon in Western, but he's a Kritika moon in Vedic. My other son has his moon in Rohini. And so that means he's a Gemini moon in Western and a Taurus moon in Vedic. And so their North Node and your Venus are in Rohini. Well, y'all are destined to be in each other's lives. And y'all are actually something beautiful together in a way. Y'all have a lot of sexual chemistry. And you don't want to block them out. Shit, stop lying to yourself. The motherfucker been putting that... And if they ain't, you thinking about them doing it. They've been putting that yappa on you. Rohini's very sexual. Rohini is a sexual connection. I answered Moon trine Jupiter. Venus in Gemini ain't all that bad. No, it's not all that bad. What does Aquarius Lilith in the third house mean? Did I didn't answer that already, or I answered Aquarius Moon in the third house? Now you got me confused. Aquarius Lilith in the third house means you feel weird. You know, there's you were different from the people you grew up around, or you might have some social awkwardness, and you feel weird. And I mean, you're very intelligent too, but and you don't mean bad for anybody, but you just get misunderstood all the time, and you kind of weird, or you seem weird to people. You have a hard time getting along ever since school. But you are very intelligent and perceptive. Damn, I missed a lot of stuff. Hey, y'all gonna have to ask again. I'm not scrolling up anymore. I can tell a lot about compatibility. You just gotta ask me certain stuff, Iris, and I'll let you know. Now, this one might be my favorite Beats by Blizz on our music. It got that didn't want to sample in there. your South Node, Leo, conjunct her Venus, and your Saturn sextile her South Node. I don't want to have to tell you about this. I think that y'all have a certain level of comfortability with those South Node connections. Y'all have a certain level of comfortability and natural understanding with each other, and y'all have some karma together. Don't get it twisted, but that doesn't mean y'all supposed to be together in this motherfucking life. But they're familiar to you. Their soul feels familiar. That connection, it feels familiar. Y'all really are at home with each other, and that's great. But do you want it to grow past that? Maddie Monk said, what if... Did I already answer this? Oh, yeah, I did. That is what I just answered. Yeah, that bitch is live, man. Marcel said they have Aquarius, Mercury, and Mars. And... Wait. Oh, Aquarius, Mercury, and Mars in the 7th house. Can that make mouthy relationships? Yeah. It can make you have some really weird relationships too. You also give and need a lot of freedom within those relationships. So you could have those unconventional, more than those mouthy stuff. That speaks of something unconventional between y'all. Something that might be great for y'all, but other people have a hard time explaining what it is. But it's not for them, it's for you. And as long as you remember that, you can have some amazing relationships. Somebody post my email up there for Iris. I can't type right now, but it's mr.turner1300@gmail.com. It's mr.turner1300@gmail.com. As a Venus in Gemini, you also want somebody who's intelligent and smart, and because y'all love having deep conversations. Absolutely. Conversation rules the nation. Just ask Iris. Yeah, it's not all just this whole shit. And I used to play about that a lot, but I don't play about it as much anymore. You need stimulation, but you need mental stimulation. You need somebody who can stimulate your mind, man. Absolutely. Marcel said, Sun conjunct Neptune, both trine to midheaven. Model, artist, yeah. Something like that. Really, whatever you want to be. I would look more to art for that and creativity. Maybe dancing or performing or something that has to do with stirring a crowd or an audience, or even beyond that, acting. Take that shit to Broadway. Mandy Monk said, if your Saturn sextiles their South Node, does that indicate a structured relationship in the past, like a marriage? Yeah, it could. I mean, all of that is within the realm of possibility, or it can mean that y'all had a hard relationship in the past, and so you have a lot of lessons to learn together, or it can mean that with Saturn sextile to the South Node, it can mean that that was somebody that you learned from. It didn't have to be a romantic relationship. That could have been somebody that you learned a lot from early on, or in previous lives, or even early in this life, or initially in y'all's interaction. Is there anything good about having Pluto square to the ascendant with a 0-degree orb? You have that aspect. Yeah, I mean, there's good about every aspect. It's just a lot of internal struggles with Pluto square to your ascendant, or external struggles with society and people misinterpreting who you are because they get caught up in the projections, and that creates expectations. I do see the email, Iris. Let me see. It would be hard to get one, but I could do what's called, Iris. I could do what's called a sunrise chart, which means I would just use whatever time is sunrise at that day, or so around 7 a.m. and I would use that as, or noon. That's something that astrologers do in trying to figure out how to rectify certain things. But I would either make it sunrise for him, or I'd put it at noon, and we'll see how that plays out, and then we'll go from there. But there's still a lot of stuff that we would be able to see within that, because there's a lot of stuff that's not going to change fundamentally. What's up, Dajana Sturgis? Smile right motherfucking now. You said, where do I get my information from? I know too much. I'm good at it. I've studied for years, and it's natural. This is my gift. Everybody has different gifts. My gift of understanding astrology is something that's amazing. There's a lot of people that study it for years, but it's something that I naturally get. And so this is my gift, is knowing this. It just makes sense for me. We can use it, but yeah, I know you still didn't get that reading. You just got to send me y'all's birth times and all y'all stuff again, and I'll run a compatibility. I'll run a synastry for you. I don't know about compatibility, but I can run synastry. Tell you some stuff. So if it's between 8 a.m. and 12 noon, we'll do it at 10 a.m. Right in the middle. Is synastry and compatibility the same thing? You use synastry to gauge compatibility. But I mean, there's not a certain, in my opinion, there's not something I say I'm not gonna be able to tell you if y'all are compatible or not by looking at y'all's placements, because different placements affect people in different ways. I can tell you the stuff that really looks good between y'all energetically, and what might also be problematic. That's what I can do in relation to the way that y'all's different placements and energy are affecting each other through synastry. But there could be people who have all types of squares and in conjunctions, and they could have an amazing relationship because they're the type of people who likes a little spice in their life, and they don't want somebody who's similar to them, and so they like that. There can be other people who that can be really conflicted and really dangerous. There are certain aspects that for some people it might mean abuse. For other people it just means great sex. And so I would just have to look at it and assess how y'all's energy is influencing each other, and I could give you a thing that says, oh, this could probably be good and bad, or this right here is stuff that really works to y'all's favor. Sharon Little said, having a parent who's an astrologer must be fun. It can be for my kids. It's probably annoying for them sometime too, when you relate so many things back to that. Maddening Monk said, what if your Pluto is sextile their Venus? What does that say about past life? That doesn't really say anything about the past life. It says, you know, I wouldn't look for that for past life connections. Pluto sextile to Venus. That means there's a lot of sexual energy between y'all, but there can also be some obsession. You hear me? There's attraction, definitely, but the Pluto person could easily get obsessed with that Venus person. Fixated. It's not even obsessed. Infatuated. Because it's a sextile, it's more like infatuated. It's not obsessed like if it was a square or a conjunction. There's an infatuation. There's attraction and pleasure and there's sexual energies, but there can be an infatuation from the Pluto person involved in there. Marcel, you said, can Sun sextile Pluto, Pluto opposite midheaven, and Sun trine to midheaven create a wedge aspect pattern in your natal chart? And does that mean what does it mean when you have that? And does it affect your reputation? Yes, it does affect your reputation. Anything that's creating those things with your midheaven is affecting your reputation. But you have Sun sextile to Pluto, you have your Sun trine to your midheaven, so it's not a negative effect. All right. That Pluto being opposite to your midheaven affects your ambition, but not as much as your reputation. You do have a positive reputation, and you care about your reputation. If you feel me. All right. What if your Pluto sextile their Venus? Oh, I already answered that. What placements can make a shallow partner? Libra placements. Gemini placements. Oh, Libra. You talking about only dating attractive people? Libra. 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 Leo too, but Libra. Libra. Sun trine midheaven, charisma on charisma, absolutely. You got a lot of riz, as these kids would say. I don't like saying that shit, but it sounded good right there. You got that riz. And people like you. People like you. That nigga Dougie So Fresh said he's deep. Yeah. If you say so. You looking for some deep dick. That was you looking. You want somebody hit you with that stroke. How could you tell if that karmic cycle has ended with somebody? What would be the telltale signs? That's interesting. I'd have to think about that. I would say Saturn making positive aspects to the North Node, or y'all grow. I mean, even without astrology, y'all growing apart. Beats by Bless Zone Out Music said they started another YouTube channel called Unknown Comedy. And so what is Unknown Comedy? Tell me about it. Tell us about it real fast in the comments, because I love comedy. And I'm thinking about, I've been thinking about getting into comedy my whole motherfucking life. I have so many stories that I feel like I could go hard. But I have to figure out my swag, because I have a certain thing to where I can be silly, but I don't like coming across goofy. I want to make you laugh, but, you know, I want to have that certain Bill Bellamy, T.K. Kirkland vibe to my comedy. I still have to be suave. You feel me? I talk a lot of shit, but I also want to play up my bravado within comedy. So, but what's going on your comedy? Oh, well, y'all go subscribe to Unknown Comedy. You need to have me on there. Let me tell some fucking jokes. Let me tell some motherfucking jokes, nigga. Let me just go on there talking shit. I always thought about starting my own reaction channel to where I just talk shit, where I ain't doing nothing but talking shit. Yeah, growing apart with resentment or bitterness wouldn't mean that there's unresolved. Yes, it would. It would. When there's resentment and bitterness, it would mean that there is. Peaceful Aura said, "What's my favorite food?" Mushu, coochie cat. Now let me stop being bad. I'm stop being bad. I have a lot of food that I love. I don't know what my favorite food is. I love ice cream, but that's not really my favorite. I mean, if ice cream counts, I love ice cream. But I like steak. Not medium rare. I know you like it medium rare. I don't like it medium rare. I like my steak medium well. Not well done, medium well. I like a medium well steak. I like mozzarella cheese sticks. Stuff that ain't good for me. I love mozzarella cheese sticks. And yes, I like to eat coochie. Coochie cat. Just I like to play with that little man in the boat. And get it right here. While doing a come hither motion with them right there. Touching that part that feels like the roof of your mouth. You understand? That's what a lot of y'all don't understand that when you are stimulating a lady digitally, which means with your fingers. A lot of y'all don't understand that. They be like, digitally? We talking about motherfucking technology? No, digitally, using your digits. So when you're stimulating digitally, you hear me? And then what you're going to do is you're going to insert and you're going to do a come hither motion. And what you're going to do is you're going to touch the top of it right there or right over there. And what you're doing is you're going to feel a part that feels like the roof of your mouth. There's going to be some ridges on there. That's what it feels like, the roof of your mouth, some ridges. And what you're going to do is press that while also orally stimulating the little man in the boat. You hear me? And you just... Sorry, you hear me? You just... And you fucking... You dig in. How did we get here? How would I recommend resolving pending karma with two people if they're that are in no contact and doesn't want to talk? I don't think you would have karmic debts with that person. You have karmic debts within your within yourself in life. I think you have to learn how to let it go and let things be as they are, and stop, and be able to detach from that situation, no matter how they feel about it, and that's how you cut the cord within your own self. Let go of the resentment. But yeah, I'm trying to tell you, I'm a master. And what you do is, let me get back into it real fast. There's going to be a point after the initial, what I would call ordinary orgasm, right? There's going to be a point where they tense up. They might even try to shake you off. Now, I want to iterate. I haven't reiterated yet, but I need to iterate that consent is important. If somebody's saying no, stop, then you need to stop. But after that initial orgasm, what you got to do is dig in even further. They're going to squirm. They might try to, because it's very intense. But once you that's when you're going to hear them make this guttural sound. It's not a moan. There's going to be a release. It might splash. It might squirt. But that's what's going to happen. This ain't the normal where people just pissing on people these days. This is The real shit. And that's the problem, is there's so many people that are just comfortable with just straight up pissing in somebody's face these days. But there is a certain process that once you get past that initial orgasm, and I'm teaching y'all something with that Virgo and Gemini energy, once you get past that initial orgasm, when you dig in even deeper, and they gon' see, here's my problem. I'm gonna tell y'all a story. This is gonna be funny, but it's fucked up. This is back before there was everybody claiming to be squirters. Back this was like in 2006 or 7. But I had got this reputation amongst this group of friends because I had made one of them squirt. She was an Aquarius, so she was really the water bearer. For real, splash. But for real, and so she told her friend, and her friend's like, oh, her. And so I really knew that she really wanted me to do it for her, and so I did. And it worked fine, but that third time wasn't the charm. On this third friend in this group of friends, she hit me with it. When she released, that shit tasted like coffee. So I knew this wasn't the same as those other experiences. This motherfucker done pissed. And it almost traumatized me for the next 3 days. Anyway, what does a Scorpio sun in the 12th house with the Sagittarius Venus in the 12th house in the composite chart mean? Oh. Well, the Sagittarius Venus means that y'all learn a lot from each other. There's a certain positive connection, but it might not be meant to last. The sun in Scorpio between y'all is like, there's so much intensity between y'all. There's so much stuff that's not being said that might not even need to be said, and y'all have very intense connections together. But yeah. Oh yeah, I'm an eager person. 3 days is all, you know what I'm saying? And I wasn't even real fucked up for those 3 days. I should have knew she did something, because every other time I didn't really issued it. It ain't, once it's that. But that motherfucker didn't even want, you know what I'm saying? After that release and I tasted that coffee, all of a sudden she had to go. The rest of them, there was a whole experience. But we started out and she released that coffee and she's like, no. She's like, hold up, I gotta go. I gotta go. So nah, this motherfucker done pissed in my face and dipped out. Funky ass bitch. And I mean that disrespectfully. Just funky ass heifer. I was young. It was a lesson learned. But yeah, hell nah. It's a great conversation to have. But yeah. Then I started going bald after that. I would never write again. That shit pissed me off. Now everybody claims to know the squirt, but they really just as comfortable pissing on people. In certain instances, there's nowhere to anatomically explain where that amount of fluid is coming from. You understand? Now, there's certain people where it is an orgasmic release. But there's also a lot of people these days to where there's no way to anatomically explain where that amount of fluid is coming from other than the bladder. And people say, I can't squirt. Some people say, I can't. I've really tried. I can't. It's because you actually have morals and principles. You have a problem just pissing on a motherfucker. Now, there are certain orgasmic reactions to squirting but there's a limit to that. Just if we're being honest, there is a limit to that. It shouldn't taste like coffee. It shouldn't taste like no fucking coffee, man. Hey, we gotta keep these honest conversations though. That shit tasted just like coffee. Like, bitch, you been at an NA meeting. So yeah. That's the problem with squirting. You have to look at the consistency of the stream. If it's just squirting, is it splashing? Is it a gush? Or is it a stream? Oh, that's jamming too. I don't know how we got here, but we can get back to the astrology. Get back to the astrology. Oh, AA always does it. AA asks a question quick. As soon as it gets away from into some freaky shit or some other shit, AA is gonna say, "Oh, ask a question quick, try to change the subject." Now we on some nasty shit, AA. You said, who's more superficial when it comes to looks, Taurus or Libra? Libra. And that's actually funny. Taurus probably be attracted to body, Libra be attracted to the face. Absolutely. Hey, I ain't even heard this one before. Hold up. Yeah. That's the jam in this one. I ain't never even heard that one before. I could believe that too, Ebony. I think you'd have to more look at their Venus. You need to make this one longer, Beats. Just yesterday. You need to make this one longer and resend it back. That bitch right there has something to it. But yeah. Shit ain't right. B said his worst experience was when she smelled like the juice from the trash can. Man, you shouldn't. I mean, you shouldn't have been fucking with it if it had any type of scent like that. If it was pungent. Now, there is a natural scent that some can have, but if it's a pungent aroma, what you gotta do is get out of there real fast. See, I know this Capricorn girl. And she's so different than other Capricorns, but maybe it's because she has Sagittarius rising, so she just be saying shit. But I saw her say one time, she said, once I squirt on you, you're my property. I said, that's just like a dog pissing on a hydrant. I don't even want it. She said, once I squirt on you, you're my property. Like, that shit, you nasty to the motherfucker. But also, please. For real, that shit fucked up. It better not taste like coffee. That shit tasted just like coffee. Like, man, like, what the fuck? I'll never forget it. And then I'm trying to get it in after that. She's like, no, I gotta go. Yeah, you gotta go because you done pissed on me, man. Now I'm not sexy. This is some bullshit. That lady actually died, not right after that, but decades later. God rest her soul, Amanda. I think that was her name. But for real though, she fucking. My favorite was a splasher though. I've talked about this before, but that thing was so responsive. Like it wasn't just peas. Like if you just touch it a little bit, it just splashes everywhere. If you come anywhere near it, if you're in mid intercourse and you just pull that thing out and you slap it on there like some of us do, just smack it on there. Once you smack it on there, as you smack it on there, it's just splashing. It's just like that shit was so responsive. And you also have to pay attention to the consistency of the fluid that's been excreted. Yeah, you have to use the right terminology. You need to pay attention to the consistency of the fluid that's getting secreted, because if it's slick and it has a certain slickness to it, then you probably all right. If that shit gets sticky real fast and that, then you know you dealing with a pisser. Trying to teach y'all. Trying to save your fucking life from getting pissed on. Well, they say it's better to be pissed off than pissed on. No, it's not. My problem was after that one with the coffee, I went to the barber shop the next day because I was going to go to the club that night. And as I went to the barber shop, the barber looked at my head and he said, "Say, bro, you thinning out right there." And I wasn't the last time I got here. He said, "You thinning out right there." So she might have made my hair stop growing or something in that spot. He said, "You thinning out." He said, "Bro, I could probably cut your hair about 6 more times. You got about 6 more cuts." And I'm like, 6 more cuts? He said, "Yeah, after that, bro, you got to let it go." And I made through about 3 of them. Then he said, "Hey, we're going to have to start doing the design. This shit is getting even more thin, bro. I'm going to put a design right there so it takes away from that." But yeah, the shit was fucked up all the way around. Motherfucker done hit me with that motherfucking that Black Rifle coffee. You ever seen that strong shit? It says the strongest coffee in the world, Black Rifle coffee. I'm gonna hit me with that Black Rifle. It wasn't like that first Aquarius that I had ever seen or made squirt. That one right there was like the elixir of the gods. Yes. That was ambrosia. Ambrosia nectar. It's the motherfucking elixir of the gods. Yeah. I thought about that shit for years. Man, and that's the Cancer in me. I had to go in there and ask her and say, "Hey, man." After years, I had to sit up and say, how many people made you do that like I did? And she'll lie and say, "Oh, nobody. It was just you." Stop lying. But yeah, you gotta be careful what you ask for. Back to the astrology. Double A keeps asking astrology questions like, man, stop talking about this bullshit. What zodiac sign has the least amount of self-control, verbally or physically? Aries. Aries. Gemini can, but Aries. Fucking Aries. Sagittarius too sometimes. But if there's principles involved, they can do okay. But Aries. You don't even know if AA is a dude or not. I don't even know. I don't think it matters because I love everybody. I've never asked. That's why I address them as them. AA, what are your pronouns? Okay, AA is a dude. I swear to God, I never knew and I never cared. But AA is a dude. Ain't that a bitch? It's because Mars and Capricorns want to do it. They want to be patient. They want to take the time and do it right. They want to be the best. And as a Mars and Capricorn, I am like that. I want to be your best. I gotta be. Heather Nielsen, where the fuck you been? You still mad? I said I was sorry, man. Where the fuck you been? Oh, I forgot Brady been home, huh? Brady doesn't stop. He stopped working out in the field. He been home. You can't just be watching no nigga on no motherfucking live all the time. Tell him I'm coming over there. Tell him I'm coming over there. No, I don't need to be controlled. Maybe you want to be controlled. I know some Mars and Capricorns. Matter of fact, I was talking to a Mars and Capricorn yesterday, and I was like, you like to have a certain element of control, and she was like, I like to be. She's like, I want somebody to dominate this shit, and I understand that. But as me looking at it from the male perspective, I want to dominate that shit. I don't like me not being in control. That's why I would never submit to somebody tying me up or putting handcuffs. And I know I've been to prison, so that makes it even harder. But I don't want nobody putting handcuffs on me. I don't want nobody being in control. Like, you can ride it for a little bit, but that's something completely different. I'm not up for giving up for control. I like to dominate. I like to be in control. I like to let it be known that I'm the motherfucker that's got the motherfucking shit under wraps. And I'm gonna handle business like I'm supposed to. It is a matter of principle. But there could also be a certain element of wanting to be controlled when you play that out submissively. But that's also a control thing.
This is crazy.
Yeah, I know, but you talking about you're not still mad, but you've been disappearing. You said, I'm not even watching this motherfucker. I'm gonna watch. I'm not gonna let him know I'm here. And I've been missing you. I'm sorry. Heather Nielsen, I'm sorry. She ain't coming back till after the election when she vote Trump. But I'll say more than anything else, Mars and Capricorn gives you stamina. I'm not tying no white women. Sorry, Watkins Cat House, I ain't doing it. I ain't tying up no white women. Not for to do it. Heather, can Brady hear us right now? Can he hear us right now? Hold on. Anyway. Cynthia, this is about astrology and numerology, but we're just chilling today. It's Wednesday. It's hump day. We just keep it jumping. I answer any questions that you have about astrology or numerology, but we also talk about life. And anyway, Heather, can Brady hear us right now? This is what we need to know. Is he getting on your nerves? If he at the house more, is it getting on your nerves because you're used to having your space? There's no aggression, Cynthia. But for real, if he's getting on your nerves, just type something in the chat. I thought you said he was going to be home more. He was going to be working from home or something. I forgot. Didn't you say something like that? That he was going to be like there? He was going to be at home a lot more. But yeah, he's working. That's why you on live. What made y'all think AA was a dude? I thought AA was a girl. I really didn't know. I never even judged, actually, but I don't know. Oh, surprisingly, not yet. So is he working from home? AA is a respectable person. That's why when we get on that nasty shit, AA has morals. He says, man, we're going to keep it to astrology. He'll ask a question so goddamn fast and try to switch the subject back to astrology. If I do anything other than bring y'all this motherfucking priceless knowledge of self, AA is going to start saying, hey, nah, this motherfucker's getting off topic. That's what AA says, get it off topic. He said, you're getting off topic, I'm for sure. And they're going to say, stick to the knowledge, motherfucker. Heather Nielsen said, no, he's home every single day compared to 10 years of 1 or 2 plus days a week. Yeah, he's getting on your nerves. You saying he ain't. You just don't want to be honest. He on your nerves. Peaceful Aura said, is Texas a good place, a safe space to visit for a female of color? You never been? Yeah, go to Austin. Austin is good for anybody of any color. Dallas is okay, but yeah, Austin is a very fun and liberal place to be if you're gonna go to Texas. But Texas is safe. You just gotta watch out for the police. There's not as much freedom in Texas as there is in other places. But as far as it being really racist, there's lots of places that can be racist. You can go to New England and Boston, and they're going to be some of the most racist places in the world. So, yeah. Texas can be a good place for anybody. Oh, you can do your own thing. Well, come over here. No, I'm just playing. I'm just playing. Tell him you finna have some company. That's that fire sign shit, talking shit. You talking shit like a true grand fire trine. You talking about, I've always done my own thing. Fuck worm. No, I'm just playing. Yeah, Texas is cool. H-Town is cool. Galveston is cool. Dallas is cool. Austin is great. San Antonio is okay. San Antonio is dangerous, though. As much as Dallas is dangerous in its way and Houston can be, San Antonio is dangerous for real. You better not smoke no weed. Oh, she been watching going to gardening and watching hummingbirds these days. You ain't old. We close to the same age. You ain't old. You finna hit your second wind soon.
Saying 98.
Yeah, double A is comfortable with themselves no matter what. I mean, I don't know if that's, I never even cared. That's why I always said them, because I wasn't sure. I never was sure whether it was a masculine or a feminine energy. It was more of an inquisitive energy. You know, it took a long time for me to become, you know, on a serious note, it took me a long time to become comfortable with femininity in the way that I am now. To understand that I have so much Cancer and Libra in my chart. You know, I do, not Cancer and Pisces in my chart, that I do have a certain femininity, but I projected an uber masculinity, or what I thought was masculinity, which was really just aggression when I was a young kid, because I was so sensitive. Now, but I also have a lot of Leo energy, and I'm a Libra rising, so I have a very masculine energy. What's interesting is my son. He's a Libra sun, Gemini moon with Capricorn rising. And Libra and Gemini are masculine, but as much as it's Capricorn, people forget that he has a very strong femininity to him. Now, I think that has to do with more of his Gemini placement. Maybe the Libra adds something to it, but it's more. It has a lot more to do with his Gemini energy. My other son is a Leo sun, Gemini moon, and he happens to be Virgo rising, but he's also very. He's always been very. I wouldn't say masculine, but boyish. When he was a little kid, he was just very much a little fucking boy. Alien Moon Mom, where the fuck you been? You got you a boyfriend, mama? Tell me the truth. You did. Kathy. You got you a boyfriend now? Somebody done tapped into that thing. You been dibbling and dabbling. You done caught your second wind.
This is crazy.
Yeah, Heather's an ox. Heather is an ox. Well, I think y'all see the Leo because it's my 10th house. I mean, that makes perfect sense. And you have to understand, even being a Libra rising, my Venus is in Leo in my 10th house, and my Mercury is in Leo, and so that's my attitude. That's how I speak. But I mean, I do have a certain femininity to me. And I was raised up in an environment where that wasn't fostered or nurtured, or it wasn't even accepted. I love Heather. Heather just don't like me no more. I was talking shit, and Heather said, I'm not fucking dealing with this shit. I'm trying to make America great again. Alien Moon Mom, Kathy, you need to let Beats by Bless Zone Out Music come over there and make some music for you. You hear me? Mama, y'all can make beautiful music together. You hear me? Your thing is sealed. It's not sealed. This can't be sealed. It's still there. Fuck that, Kathy. Somebody gonna come over there and hit that thing a couple more times. That shit ain't sealed. Somebody gonna come beat that thing off the mainframe. That thing ain't sealed. You a Gemini. You a Gemini. It ain't sealed. Yeah, Lisa's an ox too. I'm a tiger. Here we go about the morals. I did not call your morals into play. I never did question your morals. Before, let's go ahead and argue right fast. I didn't question your morals. I said you need to, if anything, I said you need to assess your morals because you're willing to put your energy and your time or your beliefs in someone who themselves is not morally adept. I'm not a little tiger. You said a litter tiger. What is a litter tiger? I damn sure ain't no little tiger. I'm the king of the jungle. Oh, that's a lion. Yeah, I'm definitely a tiger. I'm a fire tiger. No, but Heather, because I don't give a fuck about politics. My problem with Donald Trump is his morals. That's the truth. My problem with Donald Trump is his morals. I don't give a fuck about the rest of that shit because politics don't fucking matter. It really doesn't matter who's the president. Things go a certain way. What does matter? Hold on. Somebody messaging me. I don't want my sons to think it's okay for a person in leadership to behave that way and speak that way that Donald Trump speaks. Now, I don't give a fuck about the rest of it, and I've taken a step back from it, but if it was about politics, I'd be on his side, probably. If it was about the economy, I'd probably be on his side. I was not questioning your morals. I was questioning your choice in following or putting your belief in somebody who was not morally sound. Someone who speaks and behaves the way that he does. That's my problem with Donald Trump. He never calms anything down. He ramps everything up. He never, and that's the thing. Even when, and it's like he painted them into a corner, and I don't care about the politics of it, but he painted Joe Biden into a corner to where after this assassination attempt happened, they blamed and said, well, it's because of the stuff you're saying about me. It's the stuff you're saying about me that are making people want to kill me. And so they had to recalibrate their whole campaign and say, hey, now we need, Biden had to come on TV, whether he's a robot or what, because that motherfucker looks like a robot. But Biden had to come on TV and say, we need to turn down the political atmosphere and we need to, you know what I'm saying? And he's emphasizing how we need to be nicer to each other and love each other. But then as soon as he did that, Trump came on there and just destroyed his ass, destroyed his ass. Is at his rallies openly bragging of many nuclear weapons we have, openly insulting the president of China. And that shit's crazy. That was my problem. And fuck Biden. Biden isn't even in the equation either. And I don't know if I'm with Kamala Harris. I don't really care. I can't vote. So it doesn't fucking matter. But I do feel like people are willing to overlook certain morals because they feel like this is going to be the economy, or they believe the lies that this man says. No, Donald Trump is a Gemini Sun, Sagittarius Moon, Leo rising. He's born on a full moon. Come on, I'm gonna do a whole video, not a live, but I'm gonna do a whole video when I've already got it written and ready. I just gotta record it. But I've already broken down Trump's chart. I've broken down Kamala's chart. I've broken down election night. And I do have an opinion on what's going to happen if it is those two candidates that run against each other, because there's still the possibility that something unexpected could happen where those don't even end up being the candidates in this race, or that some crazy stuff happens on election night. But just like I did with the boxing fights, where I brought each fighter's astrology into question, and then I looked at the astrology of the night, and I looked at how it's going to affect each person, and then I made a determination, and I haven't been wrong yet. I did the same thing with the election. I broke down Donald Trump's charts, I broke down Kamala Harris's chart, and then I broke down election night and the influence it has on both of them. And I spoke about who I think would come out more favorable that night because of the energy involved. Well, first of all, Ebony, I know people get involved with that, but I believe people should be able to do anything. I would never say anything restrictive of people because of their lifestyle or whatever gender they choose to express. But I also know that that is a lie that's being spread about the boxer. That is a woman that was born female and the thing is, she has fought 14 professional fights and won 9 and lost 5. So there have been other women who have beat that whatever it is up. And so that excuse in the Olympics is just because whoever that was fighting at that time couldn't handle their power. And she's actually come out and apologized. And so the truth of the matter is, we project things onto people these days, just like the whole Olympic ceremony was projected to be something that it's not. But the truth of the matter is, when it comes to the boxer, which I don't know her name, it's Imine, which is kind of crazy. Her name is Imane or something. No, and they don't have an XY chromosome. They didn't do a chromosome test on that person. They test testosterone. They checked her level of testosterone. No. They didn't do a crump. She wouldn't be allowed to compete. That's not true. It's not like Brittany Griner. Brittany Griner is intersex. Brittany Griner, the basketball player, has both male and female genitalia, and she chose to play it out. I did look at it. You're looking up what you saw. I have looked it up. That person doesn't have X and Y chromosome. That boxer does not. That is a woman, born a woman. That is a myth, and that is and when you look at something up and you look up Google, all you're getting is a mixture of people's opinions. It's stuff that's coming out of magazines and articles, sometimes excerpts from books, sometimes people's opinions on things. That's why you see so many contradictory things. That's not something that's regulated. And when it comes to Wikipedia, anybody can go edit anything in Wikipedia, but that is a woman, born a woman, and that has fought women. That has gotten beaten by women. And so that's fact. The boxing record is a fact. And so that's not a man or a trans woman fighting a woman. That is a woman fighting a woman, and that other woman couldn't take it. Yes. She has elevated levels of testosterone. She's probably a Gemini rising. But that's the truth. That is a female that has fought other females and lost. So it's not like this is some invincible man in there knocking out females. That's not the truth. It's not the truth. That is a woman. It's a woman. Victor Lee said, one night stand. Who am I choosing? Kelly Divine, Phoenix Marie, or Aurora Jolie? Those are porno stars. They're all old now. They're all old now. And I don't watch pornography, but I would say Kinsey Reeves. That's who I would choose. Kinsey Reeves. None of them. Kinsey Reeves. That's who I would pick if we're choosing out of them. Kinsey Reeves. Moan Divine. That's an old school one. That's that. She's a black chick. Moan Divine. I like Moan Divine. Yep. I'm not looking it up. I've already looked it up. That's a woman. It's a woman that's fought women. She fights women boxing. She's lost a lot of fights. That's the truth. Like you're saying that there's nothing to look up. And like I told you, there's no way to get a straight, honest answer from Google. So that's not something that's max. But what you can look up, and what I can tell you is where you're wrong. No, I'm not have to be wrong. I'm not wrong. That's a woman that's fought women. I do boxing. I'm a boxing aficionado. I know boxing. And if she failed a gender test, she would not be allowed to box. That is a myth. That is a projection. That is a lie. You can look it up, but that's just somebody saying their opinion. That's what the point is. There's no point in looking it up because there's no way to get a truth from that. That's just someone's opinion of what happened. Whatever you're looking up, that's what pops up is somebody's opinion of what happened. I'm not scared to look up anything. It's the truth. It's a woman boxer that's fought women. Plain and simple. That's the truth. And lost to 5 women. Look the boxing record up. since you want to look up records, since you want to look shit up, look the boxing record up. The boxing record will show you that that is a woman that fights women. Dang, I'm handsome. And has lost to 5 women. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't give a fuck if it's Clarissa Shields. And we've actually seen this play out with Clarissa Shields in real life. If a man, a grown-ass man, got in there and fought a woman, even if she's greatly skilled, because of his strength, it is a wrap. That is a woman. They're not even allowed to be trans in Algeria. First of all, let's clear that up. In Algeria, you're not allowed to be gay or trans. That's the truth. That's illegal in their country. Look that up. No, it has a vagina. That's why. It has a vagina. They have a vagina. She has a vagina. That's a she, as a matter of fact. And okay. And boxing could be she could be intersex, but intersex, there's nothing wrong with that. Means you have both feet. That's what Brittany Griner is, and Brittany Griner plays in the WNBA. Brittany Griner is actually intersex. They don't speak on it, but that's why she has the chest that she has without surgery. That's why she has the voice that she has and the stature that she has. But when she was a child, her parents chose for her to have a female expression. Now the funny thing is she identifies as the pops now, and that's fine. Like, that shit doesn't matter. And this is a conversation I don't even feel like is productive because I support everybody. And for you to know, what is for you to know is the IBA came out, which is that's not even a sanctioned organization. It's a boxing organization that is actually one of the minor sanctioning bodies. Came out and said that that person's blood tests were male and this person was this and this and this and this. But Algeria, the country that she represents, came back and said, Algeria does not belong to the IBA and does not view the IBA as a legitimate organization and does not consider it linked to the Olympic Games. And our champion, Ayman KeEp, remains untouched and undeterred by the baseless claims of the IBA. So it is an opinion. One person said it and the other person said, "What's up, Gigi? How you doing?" And so that is an opinion. It's not fact. There's no way of knowing because we aren't there. That's how I feel. Now, I do not feel right about men fighting women in sports. I do not feel it's cool for a trans woman in professional boxing to go be fighting women. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. You said, do I think all of this gender identity politics has to do with or is it being amplified by transit Pluto and Aquarius for the next 15, 20 years? I think some stuff will come into the right. I agree with that, Ebony, but there's really no way for us to know really for sure. If that, I will say this, so we can meet at middle ground. You know I love to argue, but I will say this. If that is a male, then that is wrong. If that is a person who is biologically male and has enough testosterone to where that affects their strength, then that is wrong. But from all indications, the Olympic Committee would not allow that to happen and not allow this person to compete. You hear me? That's the truth. Is they wouldn't have. If I honestly believe that the Olympic Committee would not allow that person to compete if it wasn't. Yeah, I mean we're good though. I look good without them glasses though, right? I know it. I know it. I know it. No, they wouldn't. No, they didn't. That's your opinion, and you're entitled to your opinion. But my opinion disagrees with that, and I'm entitled to that. There's no way that you can prove what you're saying is fact other than using someone else's opinion, and there's no way for me to prove it the other way because all I have is an opinion. And so my opinion is if that person is a man, then it's wrong for that man to be competing with women. All right? Just like it was not fair for Leah Thomas to be in there swimming against those women. That rhymed. That rhymed. But other than that, there's no way for either one of us to prove each other wrong. So this is a moot topic. And I also support everyone in their own freedom to do whatever they want. And the fact of the matter is Iman from Algeria has fought 14 women and lost to 5 of them. So it doesn't seem like she has some unhealthy example. Leah Thomas didn't compete in the Olympics. Leah Thomas competed at college and won a national championship in college when they were one of the worst male swimmers in the country. So there's no way, like I said, there's no way, and I love you, and we always gonna debate. I respect that healthy rhetoric between us. But yeah, let me turn the music back on. Yeah, I stay on point. I be knowing what I'm talking about. But if you want to look up anything, look up the boxing record. And that motherfucker done had their ass whooped by 5 different women. And so there's not an unhealthy or unfair advantage going on. Oh, girl just couldn't take her power. And But we'll see. We'll see. I support them both. Gigi, what you got going on today? We only got a few more minutes left, y'all. I got about 10 minutes and then I gotta go. I got some stuff I gotta do. How much did you listen to? Because I really got into some crazy shit earlier. How much did you listen to? Kingdom. Peace. Yeah, good. You missed the crazy shit. That shit was real crazy. It tasted like coffee. But anyway, work be getting in the way. That would be what some Gemini would say. But yeah. Anybody else have any questions before we go? Do I drink coffee or just tea? I used to drink coffee. I only drink tea now. Yeah, I got a little crazy for a little bit there. What's my favorite tea? I drink herbal tea. I forgot the brand, but I drink slippery elm tea. I have issues with my throat, so I drink tea with slippery elm and licorice and eucalyptus in it. But yeah, that's the tea I like. Yeah, eucalyptus. That's what I'm drinking now. Slippery elm, eucalyptus, and licorice. Sometimes I drink coffee with peach and ginger and turmeric. So yeah. Ebony likes to argue. That's why I love Ebony. Ebony is a Trump supporter. Yogi tea's pretty good. We got all off topic and everything. That's why y'all ain't shit. Mushroom coffee with MC oil, good for the squirming. Do I drink all these teas hot? They start out hot, but they sit there long enough to where they cool off. This was hot 3 hours ago, but we've been here for 3 hours, so there's no way for it to still be hot. I drink I drink regular iced tea too. I'm from Texas, so I like iced tea with lemon or just iced tea, period. And that's just, regular basic black tea or orange pico. I like an Arnold Palmer. I never had mushroom coffee. I had coochie coffee. That was different. I didn't like that. You had to tell her, bitch, why your squirt tastes like coffee? Shit was messed up. Are there any placements that I think coincides with our life path numbers? I used to. I don't think it's the sun. It could be the sun or the north node. But I mean, it just makes. I think it's more an energetic thing that falls in with those life path numbers all the way around. But I would say, and you know, because of the name of it, when you hear life destiny or expression number, you start to think, well, that's more aligned with the north node. But in honesty, a lot of the times, the life path might be more aligned with that, or it can be aligned with the sun. The soul urge or the heart's desire number is a lot like the moon sign, but that doesn't mean it's going to correlate with your astrological moon sign. So yeah. Double A said, what advice can I give Aquarius sons for the Pluto transit in Aquarius? Don't run from the changes that are confronting you. It's gonna make them worse, make it more uncomfortable. Allow yourself to be transformed. Yeah. I'm trying to have some turn me into a motherfucking werewolf. What's my favorite cereal? Golden Grams. I love Golden Grams. Ain't nothing fucking with Golden Grams. Cinnamon squares. You mean Cinnamon Toast Crunch? You've been shopping at Save a Life. You got them from Aldi's. Yours came in a bag. Ain't nothing wrong with it. I got 7 in the second house, but yeah. You got them cinnamon squares. You mean Cinnamon Toast Crunch? Yeah. Shopping at Save a Life. I have before too, but yeah. That's that bag cereal. Yeah. And they ain't got Honey Nut Cheerios. You got Honey Nut Toastios. Frosted Mini Squares. Yes, I'm excited for football season. Now, you know I'm ready for the motherfucking Cowboys. And before football season starts, you better leave your motherfucking team alone. The Dallas Cowboys are the perfect Pisces moon delusion, and I need it in my motherfucking life. I don't want no mushroom coffee. I don't want coffee at all. That'll hurt my stomach. Who the fuck is Charles Gonzalez? Hey, before I go any further, hey, y'all make sure y'all go check out bluealiens.com. That's www.blu3aliens.com. They have awesome astrology shirts. They got crystals. They got THC gummies. And not THCC, THCA, which just so happens to be legal in most places. And they'll ship it to you anywhere. Yeah, I don't fuck with coffee anymore. I used to love coffee. I've been drinking coffee since I was like 10 years old with my grandmother. You never seen what, Heather? Oh, Magic Spoon? I don't even know what that is. Is that a store or is that a cereal? Smoldering embers on them motherfucking mushroom coffee too. If I'm gonna drink some mushroom coffee, it's gonna have some psilocybin in it. We finna trip today. If I drink mushroom coffee, I'm finna be high. Fuck that. We gonna get high today. And I can never microdose because my microdoses always turn into macrodoses. I'll start out and once I start getting that little microdose, I'm taking another one and another one and another one and another one. And then the next thing you know, the whole day is lost away. I also like the Fruity Pebbles that have mushrooms in them. But Fruity Pebbles get soggy so fast. I don't like my cereal to get soggy. I hate soggy cereal. I don't eat a lot of cereal. I don't really like cereal anymore. I like, it has to be crisp. I'm big on texture. What's up, Vigorous Wolf? I actually gotta go. I got 3 minutes and then I'm out, y'all. Nah, we can stay for about 5-10 more minutes. 5-10 more minutes. 5-10 more minutes. Gigi, are you still here? So remember getting your mouth cut up from Captain Crunch. Nah, we didn't have them Captain Crunch. Trump or Harris? Neither one. Neither one. Yeah, texture is everything for me. When you think about texture, texture is the reason why some people put potato chips on sandwiches and shit when they don't have lettuce and tomato. Because it adds that crunch. It adds a texture to it. Thank you for coming, Dougie. So fresh, so clean. Bernie Sanders. Bernie said he endorses Kamala. Bernie's Democrat. Vigorous Wolf, I've had to go without food before too. but texture still matters. I'm a foodie though. I appreciate the CashApp love, sharing little. Do I like to cook? Not usually, but when I do, I do. If that makes sense. Like, I don't enjoy cooking most of the time. I don't want to, not out of obligation, but if I up and say, hey, I feel like cooking right now, I will do it, and I enjoy doing it. I like baking. I mean, I'm a Cancer. I like baking. You want me to bake you a motherfucking cake? Are you a cake? I've been without food in real life and in the penitentiary. There was months that I was in the pen that I didn't get no commissary, where you had to eat straight out of the cafeteria, and that shit is not something you want to eat. For breakfast, you're gonna get pancakes 5 days out of the week, and them ain't mama's pancakes. They're fucking penitentiary pancakes. And what they do is give you a mix of peanut butter and syrup mixed together. And you get a spoonful of that, or peanut butter and jelly mixed together. And they give you a spoonful of that. And they might give you some yellow grits. The grits are yellow. And then when they do cook eggs and shit like that, the eggs came straight out of the chicken's ass. I worked in the kitchen. So when you went in there and you made eggs, you're getting a whole crate full of eggs that have blood and shit and everything that's coming from this chicken's egg shoot on that motherfucker, and you just crack that bitch and fry it right there. You ain't got time to do that shit. You get pulled pork, you pull the pork with your motherfucking hands. You get a pig's head, and you get whole pieces of pig, and you go in there and you pull the pork with your hands. They have several workers in the back of the prison kitchen, and y'all in there and y'all pulling the pork apart with your hands. Just you eat beans 7 days a week. You're gonna get some type of bean. Butter bean, lima bean, fucking pinto bean. You're gonna get beans 7 days a week, because that adds protein to whatever they give you. And then you might get a pork patty, which is a pork patty as it sounds, with caramel color added. You might get chili mac or pork chili mac. You might get a fish patty. You might get a chicken patty. You might get a pork chop, a baked pork chop. So if you don't get commissary, it's not. Now, when you get commissary, you eat a lot of stuff, but it's unhealthy. You're gonna eat ramen noodles with every meal. You're gonna make it with refried beans and cheese and instant potatoes and meat packs. And the meat pack might be chicken chunks, or it might be chili. And so that's what you get in there. Now, if you go to, what they do is they also like to send you to the doctor, and they'll put you, if you have high blood pressure or something, they'll put you on what's called Diet for Health. And so with Diet for Health, you're gonna get a baked pork chop or a baked it's like a little ham patty every night. And then you're gonna have to eat a certain amount of peanut butter or something. Or if you're meat free, instead of giving you meat, they'll give you peanut butter every day. Some people are meat free in there, and so if you're meat free, if you're a vegan in the pen, you get a scoop instead of meat or whatever the entree is. You get a scoop full of peanut butter. But on the nights when you do have commissary, which I had commissary a lot, I had plenty of money. When I went in for a jewelry heist for over $100,000, and I didn't get caught in the act. I got caught months later, so I had money. But I did go months after being in there some years. You do exhaust funds, and your family doesn't come through, or your girl doesn't come through for a little bit, and so you do without. And I could do without as long as I got a pint of ice cream every time they went to commissary. And a pint of ice cream in there at that time was $1.75, or might be $1.15. It was either $1. It might have been from $1.15 to $1.75, but you get a pint of ice cream. And so that's all I really cared about, having stamps and having a pint of ice cream. Now, other times I had lots of money and there was all types of stuff that I would have, but that's kind of how it played out. But anyway, I love y'all. I gotta go. I love you. I'm fixing to have to go. If you're interested in any readings, get at me in my email, not in the comments, which is mr.turner1300@gmail.com. I love you. We'll come back maybe tomorrow, maybe Friday. We might come back and have a little 8 Lionsgate shit tomorrow, all right? But I have some stuff I gotta go do tonight. And that's not a thing. It's gonna be a joke if I come back with it. But this has just been a little chill session today. We'll get more into the knowledge tomorrow. We'll try to do if we don't do it tomorrow, we'll come with the top 5 at some point on Friday. I might come with something on the late night hype in the next couple of days, so just be ready and look out for me. I love you. I appreciate your support. Don't get caught up in no bullshit. You'll be all right. I promise. Okay?